Well, good afternoon and happy New Year to everyone. It's been a little while since I've been on live, and I'm hoping to do these on a regular basis. Welcome to my Huddle Up Live, and it's great to be with you. I hope you've had a successful and fruitful 2023 from a fundraising perspective. I hope you hit all of your goals, you exceeded all of your goals, and if you haven't, I hope you're taking a good look at the things that you need to do to make sure that you do hit those goals. One of the things I want to talk about today is consistency. There are no tricks to this fundraising thing. This is about, especially relationship fundraising, this is about being consistent and disciplined and making sure that you are spending time getting in front of people who have capacity to give in a big way. And so, understanding um, who your folks are, when to meet with them, when is a good time to um, get in front of them, and to do so in a way that is consistent, because I know how easy it is to lose track of those things when you're mired in other stuff. So that is sort of my theme for today, is starting out strong and sustaining the consistency of getting in front of people to meet with them, to talk about your organization and the good work that you're doing. Now, if you are not in a pattern of picking up the phone or sending an email to get in front of folks, then I would suggest the first thing that you do is to take a look at your calendar and pick at least either a one full day or two half days where you're focused on relationship fundraising. During that time, you're going to be doing obviously a little bit of research. Perhaps you've done some wealth screening and you know who your folks are. So you're going to spend some time um, prioritizing who you want to reach out to by phone or by email in a disciplined way so that you can schedule visits with them. Okay. So if you, and pick your, I would say start with your top 10. If you've got a long list, and if you do have a long list of folks who have capacity, that's wonderful. You don't have to work all of that list at once, especially if you're an executive director and you have no in house support at all, fundraising support, then I know you need to manage your time and manage it well. And so, my suggestion to you is to make sure that you are spending your time wisely. And when you carve out that time, whether it's a morning one day and an afternoon another day, that you're only looking at sort of your top 10. Who are your top 10 prospects, people who have capacity, right? People who have a link to your organization, and people who are interested in your mission. Who are those folks? That's where you start. Pick up the phone and we wish them a happy new year and find a time to meet with them over coffee just to get caught up or to introduce yourself and get into that rhythm. Now, while I'm saying that you're spending um, the equivalent of a day a week, which amounts to about 20% if you're working 5 days a week, that's about amount of time you should be spending on fundraising. That doesn't mean your visits are going to fall into those designated times that you've scheduled to focus on reaching out. So be mindful of that. And so, your prospect may be available to meet for coffee tomorrow. And if you're free to meet for coffee tomorrow, then do it, right? If it's feasible, right? This fundraising thing should be a top priority. While I'm saying that only 20% of your time is spent on fundraising, you've got to make sure that you are adhering to the donor's availability. That's going to be really, really important. And so if they're available tomorrow for lunch and you can do it, and you were planning on having lunch with a staff person or you were planning on an internal meeting, cancel the internal meeting, unless it's dire, right? This is an opportunity to get in front of somebody that will be able to give you, 5,000, 10,000, $15,000 eventually. So you want to start that process. So take that time and start getting on the phone and calling people. But more importantly, block out that time in your calendar, whether it's a full day a week or a half day twice a week. Block it out, protect it, absolutely protect it. And so that means nobody else can schedule a meeting with you during that time. If you have admin support, then that admin needs to know that that's the time that you've blocked out for fundraising activities, and you are not to be disturbed unless it's an absolute emergency. So that's part of the discipline, right? You can't go at this alone, right? You don't want to be operating in a vacuum. You want to make sure that you've got that time designated, and the person who is doing admin support for you is also there to support you as well, to make sure that time is protected. Okay. Lock it in on your calendar weekly. Ask your admin to check with you as you're getting started to make sure you are actually doing those things. Because I know what it's like. You could have something on your calendar, but something else comes up. Phone call, comes in, 15 minutes before you've got the time designated to do this, and now you're doing something else. You gotta be consistent, and you have to start doing that. And there's no better time than right now. It's January, it's a new year. If this is the beginning of your fiscal year, then you have 12 full months to not only meet your goal, but to exceed your goal. Okay. Fundraising goals should be minimums, right? If you have to raise 200,000 or $250,000, that's the minimum you want to raise. You want to blow that number out of the water. I'm sure that your board and others will not be upset if you over raise the dollars that you need. So shoot past your goal. Goals should be minimums. But the message here today is about consistency. You want to be absolutely consistent. So block out that time on your calendar, the equivalent of a day a week, whether that's a morning, a Tuesday morning and Thursday afternoon, or a full day. And so that's number one. Number two, make sure you have a partner who is helping to hold you accountable. And hopefully that could be your direct admin who's going to help protect that time for you. Okay. And third is get out of the office. Get out of the office. Remove yourself from the possibility of being distracted. And so, what do I mean by that? Go to a coffee shop, work from home that day. This way you're less likely to be interrupted with things that are, I call them artificial emergencies, right? People burst in your office and they have this issue. And at the end of the day, it's an issue that they can solve, but they feel comfortable coming to you, talking to you about it. Um, but they don't really need you to solve that problem. They could do it on their own, and let your gatekeeper, your admin, be that person that determines whether or not you are bothered where you are, so that that person can call you if there's really a need, to talk to you about anything urgent. So really, really critical to be absolutely disciplined. This is how successful fund executive directors who are doing fundraising that don't have in-house support and are out there building relationships with people. This is how it's done. There's no secret to it. There's no, get rich quick scheme. This is about discipline. You've got to, because the most important thing as an executive director is the people who are going to give big, they want to talk to you. Now, if you've got a development person, they're going to, the development person can take the lead, but at some point you're going to be brought in. But if you don't have that, you're the person. You're the person who can talk the vision of the mission. You're the person that can answer questions about where the organization is now and where the organization is going. So let's start 2024 in a way that is consistent. Make sure you carve out time, put it on your calendar to focus on fundraising. I'm suggesting a day a week, either half a day, one day, half a day of the other, or one full day a week. Make sure you have an accountability partner, whether that's your admin or another staff person, that is making sure that your time is not only protected, but also that you're not disturbed unless there is an absolute emergency that requires your attention. Okay. And third, you want to absolutely, make sure that you are, um, being consistent. And I lost my train of thought um, on the third part. Um, but you want to make sure that, you are being consistent, and and that you're following up, and that you are setting the stage for creating the right habit that is going to make sure that you generate the dollars that you need. And now I remember what the third is, and that is get out of the office. Get out of the office. Okay. Especially on that day. If you would, change your space, change your energy, change your location, remove yourself from being distracted so that you can focus. This will help your staff become disciplined and saying, okay, John or Sue is out of the office working on fundraising. We got it, right? Unless there's an absolute emergency, they shouldn't disturb you. All right. Hope this is helpful to you. If you are interested in chatting with me about things that I do as a coach, I'd be happy to do that. I have a new um, community called Donor Pulse. It's a monthly community. It's a monthly subscription community. And if you're interested, feel free to. I'm actually going to drop it in the comment here. And hopefully, those of you who are watching on various platforms can see the link, and you can learn more about Donor Pulse. If you're interested in my Relationship Fundraising Academy, we're going to be beginning that up again next month, February 6th. It's a 10-week program. And you can go to my website, thefundcoach.com, and schedule a meeting with me, and I'll talk to you more about that and what that looks like. All right. In the meantime, have a fantastic week. Remember always that this fundraising thing is not about the dollars. It's about what the dollars do for the people that we serve. Thanks, and have a great, great day.